Good afternoon, everybody, on this 70-degree day in February. This report just was published yesterday. It says Secret Rex Tillerson begins deconstructing the 7th floor shadow government at Department of State. The term shadow government is not a construct of critics. It is actually the term of professional bureaucrats within the 7th floor of the Washington, D.C. based Department of State gave to themselves. The career political operatives who reign within the State Department openly view themselves as a distinctly separate state governing authority with no attachment to the policies or objectives of the United States presidency or any mere elected official therein. For years, this group has considered themselves the untouchables. They live a life of high-financed indulgence, including massive expense accounts, chartered airline travel, swanky cocktail parties, expensive chauffeurs to take their kids to private school, seasonally designed home decor, and appointed by only the very best interior designers, personal security to keep them and the common folk away, tickets to the best venues and reserved seating at elite DC restaurants, such as these pizza places. With the first rights to the budget expenditures, the 7th floor group finds no indulgence too extravagant. Did you hear what I just said? With first rights to the budget expenditures, the 7th floor group finds no indulgence too extravagant for their intellectual elitism. They demand nothing but the finest because they are the most worthy of the DC professionally privileged, who are more than equal than others, and after all, their jobs require them to host and visit like-minded diplomats and celebrities with exclusive tastes from around the world. Today, this elite crew collectively choked on their crust. Crustless triangle sandwiches. Washington, D.C. Much of the 7th floor staff who work for the Deputy Secretary of State for Management and Resources and the consular offices were told today that their services were no longer needed. Two sources also told CBS that Ambassador Christy Kenny, the counselor of the State Department and one of the last remaining senior officials, was informed that she will be let go. She is a career Foreign Service officer who had served as an ambassador under President Obama, Bush, and Clinton. Her staff was told that Secretary Tillerson does not intend to fill the counselor's position anytime soon. It is irresponsible to let qualified, nonpartisan, experienced people go before you have any idea of their replacement. You can't do foreign policy by sitting in the Whitehouse, just out of your back pocket, explains Tom Countryman, former Assistant Secretary for Non-Proliferation, who was let go earlier this month. He's salty. Countryman worries that the White House is displaying an intent not really on the State Department for foreign policy, and that no one will be in place to challenge the edicts drawn up in the Oval Office. Ah yes, who will remain to challenge the edicts of the Oval Office, as they still try to portray Trump as a dictator? Yes, that's what they see as their job. Those White House vulgarians are merely peon elected officials who represent the far inferior riffraff types with lesser intellect and class. Excuse me? Oh, the horror of it all. These entities see themselves as a complete and separate structure of government. They also function as a complete and separate ideological structure of government. Here's the report itself. There was a powerful group of very high-ranking state officials that some refer to as the 7th floor group or the shadow government. This group met every Wednesday afternoon to discuss the FOIA process, congressional records, and everything Clinton related to FOIA. Congressional inquiries. The known regular attendees include Jonathan Feiner, Chief of Staff for Secretary of State John Kerry, Jennifer Stout, Deputy Chief of Staff, Heather Higginbottom, Deputy Secretary of State for Management and Resources, Kennedy, Julia Friffield, Assistant Secretary Legislative Affairs, and redacted, Office of the Legal Advisor. So they took somebody's name out. Office of the Legal Advisor overseeing state. These are names that have been removed. Redacted. Normally with the larger FOIA requests, such as with the Clinton-related FOIA requests, IPS would schedule a rolling release that meant every few weeks or month, the properly reviewed and approved material would be made public. However, redacted, and the 7th floor group argued that the release should be done all at once in January 2016 for coordinating purposes. While IPS officials did not have control over the release process of the 296 emails related to the House Select Committee on Benghazi's request, they did not have control for the release process for the approximately 30,000 emails or 52,455 pages related to the Clinton FOIA request, and it was decided to be a rolling release. Deconstruction and realignment, while simultaneously managing and controlling the amounts of damage these internal agents will do toward the larger Trump administration objectives, is a tenuous undertaking. Secretary Rex Tillerson is tasking with taking the corrupt and rotting vehicle down to the frame and cutting out the cancerous rust. This is yet another epic battle with zero Washington, D.C. supporters as Trump and T-Rex endeavor through the restoration phase. We shall now see if the Uniparty, Democrat and Republican, will try to impede such an effort. There is nothing more difficult to plan, more doubtful of success, nor more dangerous to manage than the creation of a new order of things. There's nothing more dangerous than the creation of a new order of things. Really. Whenever his, Novus Deorum, or what or Seclum Deorum, whatever the hell's on the dollar bill, order out of chaos. Whenever his enemies have occasion to attack the innovator, they do so with the passion of partisans, while the others defend him sluggishly, so that the innovator and his party alike are vulnerable. And that's the end of it. So, an overview or a summary of this is Trump is cleaning out all of the cancer in Washington, and that's all these senior officials that have this like aristocratic type of lifestyle that they've lived carefree, pulling strings and calling the shots for years. They're the first person that gets government allocated money. Like it goes through them. They get to decide, that their pay is unlimited. They have a infinite tab, and what could be the reason for that? These are the people that are put into positions to oversee the affairs of the running of Washington. And as the system gets broken down and disassembled, and Trump roots out all of these people, they're going to be crying dictator. They're going to be crying all these things that they're crying. But you know what? The attack on the American government right now, through the attack on the presidency by all of the people that continue to move with this leftist attitude and try to basically, how is it that it's fucking stupid, man? Like, people are stupid. Like, if it's not blatantly clear to the idiots that supported Hillary and that are creating all this chaos because Trump got elected, if it's not clear to you what happened, what those people were doing behind the scenes, and what exactly has been taking place all these years behind your back, then you need to go dive into research for the next year, because there's a lot to catch up on. And it's just one more phase in Trump's draining the swamp, and they're kicking and screaming, and I really don't think they're going to go down without a fight, in my personal opinion. Well, not only do I not think that, but if you look to the Bible and multiple different other ancient records, it states of this, war and this fight, of principalities and of forces. So all you gotta know is in the end we win. So I just this just came across the desk, so I decided to put it out there for you guys. This is major news, though. This is major news. This is the disassembling of the shadow government, the same shadow government that JFK spoke about and was speaking about the week before he was assassinated. So there's people that have been fighting to do this for 100 years, hundreds of years, and it's finally being done. And for all those people that think that this is conspiracy, and I've had comments of the trolls saying dumb shit like fake news and stuff like that. Get a grip on reality and go do some research and pull your head out of your ass and look around you and realize what's going on, because there's a revolution taking place in the United States right now, and you're either going to be a part of it or you're going to be on the other side. And unfortunately, that's what it's come to. So in the Civil War, there was brothers fighting brothers, and the same thing is going on now. And it's it has the title now of left and right, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So with that, stay vigilant, stay tuned.